Hello guys, welcome back to my stream. Last time we flew the approach to runway 05 into Qeenstown. This time it will be the approach for the runway 23, I guess it's so, and it's a little bit more visual. There could be some confusion within the visual part of the procedure, so again, I'm not qualified for this airport, but the pilots who are flying there are well qualified, and if there are some pilot who is really flying to New Zealand, Qeenstown, leave me a comment below and I will learn from you how to make a correct procedure. But anyway, we will do the best reasonable action in order to safe land on the runway 23. Anyway, the time I'm again making these videos is at night when the local services are unserviceable, so I need to take an external web page, which my friends give me advice that from this page you can have the source of the information, so it's quite okay. So let's start it. Okay, we are at Boeing 737. What we can do now, we can make an actions. We can call for a second stairs bus. Today we have 109 passengers on board, and that's okay. And the baggage will be 400 kilograms in the front and 1000 kilograms on the back. It will be short flight, so I will start quickly with preliminary pre-flight procedure. That means that battery is okay. We have 24. Alternate flaps switch okay. Wiper spark, this is quite okay. We need to check the parking brakes for Captain Walkaround. Gear down 3 green. Overheat detection, it's okay. Fire warning is okay. Bottles is checked, so we may start the APU. The bottle on the next side is checked, that's okay. Yeah, we can connect the fuel track while we are on battery, because the protected circuit breakers are battery powered, so we can ask for fuel track. And for today's flight we have 4500 kilograms of the block fuel. But anyway, be aware of the fact that that we cannot make an refueling with passengers on board. Okay, we can convert it to kilograms, and I need to do the ones again. So passengers are okay, but baggage will be 400 and 1000. That's okay. And the fuel, as I said, if you all of the flights which are conducted with 737, no matter how far is the flight, how long is the flight, and what's the purpose of the flight, training circuits, to land or whatever, you have to have your fuel on board at least 4,000 kilograms. Okay, so everything is okay, that's fine. So I will take 1000 more, so 5500, and we are far away below the landing weight. Anyway, that's okay. So we can do the rest. Fire warning test, because we will is AC powered. We can do the test of the cargo compartment for ETOPS flight, and we can go down and we can do the pre-flight scan procedure. Okay, if you would like to put the bleed APU on, just wait 1 minute to let the APU stabilized. And as I said before, it's 1200 landing altitude, and we have cruising level 340 for today. It's quite high, but we are quite low, so that's why. So we are flying from the hub. This is okay. That's fine. Do not forget to reset the fuel. And that's it. Refilling is in progress. And 121.8 if there is somebody out there to hear him. Anyway, so we can put like this, and we can fill the FMC, and we may start the refueling now. And via FMC we have a new database. Okay, we have gate 15, self-maneuvering stand. I think so, the GPS coordinates match our conditions, and we are going to fly to Qeenstown. Okay, activate Air New Zealand. (101) and runway for departure. We check it with our last meter source, and Christchurch will be 260. So again, we have Guput point. That means the departure from runway 20 start via Guput point, and that's it. Performance, what is set? 340. Okay, so 340, it's okay. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet. Here in New Zealand we have temperature -5. This means the outside the temperature up top of climb will be -47. 47, and cruise wind 184.19. That's okay. Cost index is 8. It's pretty low. And final reserve, I didn't write it there, but our destination alternate is the same as the departure airport, so I guess it should be around 1600 kilograms. Okay, so 1.6 will be reserves, and that's it. We can perform the light test. Okay, check the position. We can pre-select the QNH, actually is 1025. 5, so engine out acceleration altitude will be 8,800 feet. 800, put it like now. We can activate our NAV charts because I don't have it. We put there Christchurch Airport, and Christchurch Airport we put their SID 102 Quebec departure. We don't have the initial climb clearance, so flight level 340 will be okay for us. Flight level 340, and we have the fuel on board, so we may start the boarding and we may start loading the baggage and continue. That means that we are departing with a runway heading of 211. I'm not aware about what is the let's say noise abatement procedure for this airport, so just let me know in the comments below. But in case of relanding for runway 20, I will use definitely ILS. There is nothing stated in NOTAMs, and ILS has the 196 final approach course. (196). So 196, that's okay. We can check the crew oxygen tested 100%. We can go all the way down, scroll it, stowed, and frequency is 10.3. And we start our preparation for approach and landing as soon as possible after flight level 100. Anyway, we have Christchurch VOR, which is as well essential to put there. Okay, that's it basically. So we can close this chart. That's quite perfect. So what we are waiting for? We are waiting for the baggage and passenger loading. Okay, start with loading. We have 81 passengers on board. It's go more quickly when we have 2 stairs, and the crew composition for Boeing 737-700 is done by the EASA operational procedures, and that means 2 on flight deck, that's crucial, and at least 3 cabin crew members in the cabin. One is senior cabin crew member. This is the chief of those 2. Yeah, that's it. We can start the front loading, and we'll be very early soon good to go. In real life, the things are not going so fast as now, so we are happy. Okay, so we have pegs on board. We need to have 1 stairs because we need to make a load sheet and sign a load sheet and give it to handling agent. So We'll check it. The first compartment is almost loaded. We can release next time I will make a video about the flight about the preliminary and the pre-flight and in-flight scan procedure. What does it mean and how we are handled with this procedure. Okay, we are just only 100 kilograms of baggage is missing, so it's okay. We'll be sooner fully loaded the airplane. Okay, now we are good to go, so we put the zero fuel weight. We still don't have from PMDG calculation. It's a pity, but I can basically nothing to do with it. 4.7. Yeah, it's like this one. That's fine. And we have 270 at 5 knots. That's okay. And reduction altitude. I will use standard European procedure, former NADPA procedure for this. Anyway, we can release the stairs, and now we can perform the before start procedure, and before the procedure is completed, so we can connect with the ground. Can put this and this right over here. I can put the anti-collision lights on, and once we are clear to start the engine, we may do the engine start procedure. Okay, we start the block time, and here we go. So after passing flight level 100, that means the sterile cockpit is not valid for us. We will make a preparation because it's a short flight, and I would like to. It's very tricky to find do the visual approach for runway 23 because there is a confusion between the lake and the river, in which you have to follow. But anyway, we will brief us. Okay, by the way, I forget to put the takeoff speeds. 132, 132. That's okay. We can start the engine number 1 at the time being. Okay, 22 we have. Watch the EGT. If we have hot start, wet start, or no N1, N2 rotation means hung start. That means that we have serious problems with engine structural failure. That means that we have to shut down the engine via checklist and QRA checklist and call for the maintenance. And that means basically in all of those situations the no-go item. Okay, that's quite perfect. I'm happy with this. Start valve is cut out. That's quite perfect. So we can put the flaps 1 and what we can remove the chokes, and FMC route takeoff page. It's quite okay. We can perform procedure. Okay, that's fine. We have flaps 1, green light, 2 good stable engines. We can perform the flight controls checked. Flight controls checked are okay, so we can switch off the APU. We can blank the lower display, press recall, everything is okay. 1, 2, 3. I release the parking brakes and we are good to go. We taxi Olna from the ground. I'm apologizing from my previous video for RNP approach runway 05 and that I used a different livery, but that was only my wrong decision, and I don't want to hurt anybody from New Zealand that I'm not using the New Zealand livery, so right now we have it, so once again apologize for that situation. It's completely normal that if I am flying to Dubai International, I will use Emirates livery or Fly Dubai livery, and when I am on New Zealand, I will use the New Zealand livery. So that's okay. So before takeoff procedure, weather radar is on. It's okay. Reset the fuel. Terrain switch. We have flaps 1, green light, stabilizer trim is set. So checklist is completed and procedure. I'm again apologizing that I am not using the great effects while on takeoff or landing, because I consider the takeoff and landing is most critical part. That means that both of the pilots should be fully concentrated on their approach and landing or takeoff. So the nice view from passenger cabin or when deploying the landing gear, it's quite nice, but you have to focus what are you doing. Okay, we are approaching holding point. Assume that we are clear to line up. Oops, a little bit lag. Okay, start the flight time and we'll keep rolling. Takeoff. Okay, runway 20 positively identified. We have engine stabilized. Takeoff N1 Toga. Takeoff thrust is set. We have 80 knots checked. And now we have V1 rotate. Okay, positive rate of climb, gear up. It's okay, and if you would like to see some nice pictures, that's pretty cool. But I can give you an outside view for flap retraction. So climb thrust, it's okay. Approximately 3000 we can make start retract the flaps. So bug up. Some companies call it bug up, some companies call it set flaps up speed. And now we can put the flaps up. As you can see, this is the Kruger flap, this one which is near the root wing, and those outboard leading edge devices. The purpose of leading edge devices and Kruger flap is not to produce the lift of the airplane, but to put your stall speed into the into the higher limits. So we have flaps up, no light. We can check the total air temperature. As we are in clouds, we need to use the engine anti-ice, definitely. And I will prepare the Qeenstown. We will see, maybe this time we are not lucky and we don't see the runway in proper way. So as we said before, the runway length is only 1700 meters. If you check the landing distance available, it's always beyond the threshold, so that means for runway 332 we have 1800, so we are exactly on our minimums for category 4C airplane. Anyway, we have standard instrument arrival, which is airloof for Bravo. Okay, we are out of the clouds, so engine anti is off. That's quite perfect. Happy with it. Reset the minimums, approaching flight level 100. So switch off the lights. APU switched off, logo light is switched off. A little bit cool down the cabin, but not so far. Why is it doing this? I don't understand. Okay, now I know how to adjust it. It's my fault, and as we are established, so we may release the cabin crew. Okay, and prepare our aircraft for landing. So that means departure, arrival. We have, as we said before, we are going to use the RNP Foxtrot or Foxtrot for us. Always remember, I saw plenty of video on YouTube when guys was using the category B. You are category C, you are not allowed to use those procedures, but this procedure is not valid for us. We can go to golf procedure. Yeah, we can make a golf procedure. So RNP golf. Okay, it's called RNAV. Related to this situation, the ICAO statement was that they have to unify the charts until the end of the year of of 2022, and all of the charts on all of the world will be named as RNP approach or RNP AR approach. It depends on the approach you are currently using for. Okay, so MDA, we have airport elevation is set. We need to put the 256. 256 is set. .256 is set. MDA is 4100, so we have plenty of time. Minimum sector altitude based from airport reference point is 11,400, so if we deviate from our routing, be aware of this fact. So we have 4100. We successfully made it. QNH was 1023 or 24. I don't know exact number. I'll definitely go for auto brake 3. 256, 256 we have. And what is the next important? If you look at the another chart, VOR, we have the VOR, which is based on this hill, and this is quite nice feature because we have the reference for our visual part of the approach. So 113.6. Okay, and we can put it as well here, just to see the needle, and I will put it into the fixed page as well to know. I always when I'm uploading the videos, on most of my videos you find the information that put as much as it is possible to put into your FMC. So in this case I will put QN 113.6, and this is just the remember. Okay, it's nothing special, and we can put from the fixed page runway 23, put it right here, and from runway 23 it's good to make an extension of 050 in order to know that, hey, this is the radial. Okay, now we are flying here and we are making the visual, but we have the radial here depicted right now. So this is our remember that when we are going to make a turn. There are as well the publish holdings, and if I can see, okay, runway golf, and we have final approach fix at ICBA 5,800 feet. So at Skill, and we have Qeenstown 210. I will put 180 in order to have the flaps and to be properly established. And we are going to Iqaba, and Iqaba, as you can see, is 5,800 feet. And from Iqaba point we should have Quebec November 603, 3.5 nautical miles, and it should be 5,200, and 4,700 should be this point. But as you can see, we don't have it depicted here on the chart, so what we can do right now, we can put it manually. Okay, so we have Quebec November 603, and yeah, we have you can see the strange database right here. From Quebec November 603, it's direct line to runway 23 with this glide path angle, which I don't like it. I would like to avoid this situation anyway. So we can make Quebec 603, and as we have the final approach course of 256, that means plus 180, so 256 is 76. Okay, so 76 slash 2 DME, and we can put it right over here. Okay, it's not working, so put it here. Okay, we can modify the database anyway, and we can't create the custom waypoints, which I personally don't like this situation. If there is LNAV VNAV approach, it's forbidden to modify the database from FAF onward, but we don't have LNAV VNAV, we have only MDA, so we can modify the database anyway. We are allowed to do so, but it somehow doesn't work. Or we can make Iqaba, let's say 256 slash 2.8. Okay, this point is working, so we can execute it. We can put Iqaba 256 slash 2. Sorry, not 2 DME, but we have to count this one, so it's 3.2. Then it's okay, and we can put the altitude constraint 5,200 at or above over the first point, and 4,700 at or above overhead second point, and we can clear with discontinuity. And now we have to prepare the last. We are going to burn we can pre-select it, for example, flight level 200, like this one, via vertical speed, and we are going to burn 400 kilograms. That means 53 decimal, but we are not, this is not planning with the visual part of, so 53 will be okay. So 53 with flaps 40 and flaps 5 speed, that means 130 will be VRF additive. That's okay. And overhead descent page, flight level 150 is depicted on the map, and we can request descent wind and put the QNH 1024. The QNH is very important to put off any type of non-precision approaches like this one. Okay, so winds are already here, so we can put it there. On the legs page we have we are with the changeover, so 140A, that's okay. And what I would like to I would like to be overhead GVAC with final configuration in order to be stabilized. So let's go to GVAC point, and as you can see, overhead GVAC we have 180, and I would like to avoid this situation, so I would put for example 150 slash over, put it like this one. Now we can make a level change and a little bit put the speed brakes, and recall is checked, and what we can check is fuel holding available overhead, for example at kill point, and we have holding fuel available for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so we can perform the checklist, and yeah, we can put it back to the VNAV. Can stow the speed brakes and enjoy the flight. The first of all, I put the start. We have this airloop, in just case to remember that we can descend to flight level 150. Flight level 150. It's quite nice livery, this New Zealand. We'll make a screenshot. Guys, be aware of two facts. As I saw the plenty of videos, you are using wrong charts. Remember, your airplane is category C. Please do not use the charts with category B airplanes. Okay. In some circumstances, Boeing 737-800 and 900 is category D, but it's applied only for circle procedures in United States of America within FAA, because there are some other protection area when you are performing circle to land. But in all the cases, all the Boeing 737, it doesn't matter if it is 400 or 900, it's always category C. So read please the chart and watch if this category is valid for you, because I saw many of professional pilots and they were using category C, category B approach, which is a big fail from my point of view. Maybe I am not the best person for explanation, and my English it's terrible, I know about it, but I'm not silly person, and I know what to use and when and where to use, and always tries to do as much as it is possible to stabilize the airplane while you are making the final approach, and as well within the landing. Okay, we are coming to the airlift point. There is no limitations. Pump, this limitation is given by the ATC, but anyway, we don't have the ATC, so we may disregard this. What is stated here, that this arrival procedure requires RNP 1. What is RNP? RNP is not RNAV. You don't please mess with this situation. RNP means required navigation performance. That means that you have to have on board alerting services, which will give you an alert message that hey, you are deviating from your RNP standard corridor. So that's why we can see the RNP AMP. And this green line, this is because we have pre-selected the VOR, and we have pre-selected the final approach course. So on the airplane thinks that okay, hey man, this is your final approach course related to these navigation settings. But it's not a big deal. It's just the help for us that yes, we are on the correct flight path. So that's okay. Basically, okay. Anyway, put the cabin crew. So we have arm condition, we are a little bit below computed flight path, but I will not adjust the thrust levers because it's only 5 knots below, so that's okay. And from flight level 150, which is overhead the pump point, we can descend to 10,000 feet. And at this case, this is the publish holding, in case we have some troubles. And from this, we are going to make an so once again, if I modify the database from FAF onward, it means that you are allowed to do so. But do not modify your database when you see the glide slope angle and when you are performing LNAV VNAV approach. Okay, but what we are going to perform, it's only LNAV approach, and it's LNAV approach with non-precision minimums. That means that we are going to minimum descent altitude, no decision altitude. So in this case we are allowed to do so. Okay, so now we are crossing this point. We can go to 10,000 feet. Press standard. Can use a little bit speed brakes in order to avoid a revert to VNAV speed. Okay, we're on big on profile. It's pretty fine. At kill point we have already I have the deceleration point for the point Quebec November 780. So that means the airplane will start to decelerate it just prior to at kill point, which is initial approach fix. If you know that the approach fixes are divided to initial approach fix, intermediate fix, and final approach fix, or final approach point, depends on what approach you are performing. I am fully aware of the fact that we have pull-up terrain during our visual approach, but I will not put the terrain off. I am trained for Innsbruck approaches, and we never do it. Okay? No matter how annoying is the sound, it has its own purpose, even if you are visually. It is just to remember, hey, before the cables you have to turn to the right onto heading 264, as I remember from Innsbruck. And as well, if you are flying on this particular airports, you have to be aware of the procedures, which are bulk landing procedures, which are engine fail procedures, and so on and so on. So it's not that simple as it looks like. For example, Para-Bhutan approach, they are trained as well for the approach, which you don't find on Navigraph charts. So we are approaching the at-kill point. I will revert to RNP approach, and okay, so these are the flight spoilers. It's assist to ailerons within the turn, and it depends. The angle of deflection depends on your option of your airline you have. And here are the ground spoilers. Okay, so okay, we can go just 10,000 feet. Okay. Okay, my sim is lagging today. I don't know what's the reason. We can go to 8,500 feet. 8,100 feet, and we can check the actual QNH. This is 1025. Okay, that's perfect. We do not need to modify the descent forecast page because we are already on QNH. So if we change the QNH, it change the VNAV as well, because VNAV is barometric VNAV uncompensated, and it's related to our QNH setting. So I will put lights on because we are approaching 10,000 feet. And yeah, we can make start the deceleration. So put flaps 1. And if the airplane won't decelerate, do not hesitate to do the speed brakes, especially on this part of the this kind of the approaches. It's more or less crucial to do so. So flaps 2 we can put. Many of you ask maybe yourself why I'm so conservative. I'm not so conservative. I have quite a lot of experience from real life, and as well as a captain of 737, and I know that sometimes to decelerate the airplane should be a big challenge for you. And remember, the speed brakes are effective up to flaps 10. If you are above the flaps 10 with flaps 15, the speed brakes are not allowed to use. This is the first limitation, and the second limitation is that they have basically no benefit for you. Okay, now we can go to 7,700. Always remember, this is not the Boeing procedure, this is the IFR procedure. Do not put the 410 right now. Yes, you have these waypoints, but the basic of IFR is to put the first constraint, after the first constraint, or just prior this constraint, put another constraint. It's crucial to do. Yes, it's crucial to do so. So we can cabin crew landing position, gear down flaps 15 we have, and this is what I would like to have, because it's quite a steep descent from this point. So what are we going to do? We are going to make this circle. So after Quebec November 603, we are proceeding straight ahead to Quebec November 611, and then we make start our visual turn. Okay, and we can go to 5,800. If you don't feel comfortable with flaps 15, okay, go to flaps 25. I don't see any kind of the problem. I remember, if you are flying commercial airlines, the safety is the first, okay? So now we are not allowed to use the speed brakes, so I hope it will not revert to the VNAV speed. Yes, it's revert to VNAV speed. It's not good, so make it level change. Speed it a little bit up. Okay, the next waypoint is 5200. Okay, we have FNC speed VNAV plot back again. Remember, always help yourself. 256 its final approach course. Flap 30. Okay, and we are going down the valley. And our final configuration is flaps 40. So we can put flaps 40. Another is 4700 point. So now what is important in order to have the MDA, do not forget to put the 10,000 feet, which is our go around altitude. Okay, we can go to 4100, which is our MDA. The first, we are visually, so that's okay. If we are in the clouds, it should be a problem, and I will revert it into the, because approach logic allows us to do so, so we can easily, it's not going for us anyway. I will put on the vertical speed, and I'm going via vertical speed down. To miss the approach point, and I will revert to 10,000 feet. We have to dive the airplane a little bit, and as you can see, 4100, we are approaching the MDA approximately. I can adjust a little bit the vertical speed. Okay, now for 0. Okay, so minimums, we have runway inside, we are good to land. So autopilot is engaged. Now it's okay, and fully focused to fly it manually. And don't forget, please, to recycle your flight director switches as you're performing NPA. Okay, and deselect speed to have the speed arm. And the correct procedure is, as I said before, the VR exactly over this hill, what we see here now. So we are going here right now. Oh, it's not right now, but we are approaching this hill, as you can see, and from this hill we are following this procedure via the valley. Okay. Once again, if you are visually, if you see the runway, we see the runway, and you have the first officer to set the missed approach heading for you, but I don't have the first officer, so that's why I will just do it manually, like now, and now it's okay, more or less. And we can start our final turn. And sometimes it's essential for some part of the approaches to have to put the extended center line, but I will not do so because we lose our misapproach RNAV procedure. and this is what I was talking about. Okay, caution terrain. Okay, that's fine. We are fully aware of the terrain. We are fully visually, so that's basically okay. What is important to follow this valley and do not mess up, please. Okay, that's pretty okay. That's we have caution terrain. And now this is the lake, so do not start to turn here, because you are starting to turn to the lake to the another valley, which we don't want to do so. So we have to start our turn within this valley via the riverside, and be aware of the fact that airport elevation is 1200 feet, and now we have 2200 or 2400, so we have 2000 feet to lose, so there is no need to descend more. So keep the airplane level and follow all the valley, because there is another hill, as you can see here. This is the first one. The second one is the hill which we have the Quebec Point and VOR as well. And now we will see that if we are too high or if we are too low. Anyway, we can do it like now. And we can see that we are a little bit below the profile, so we are okay basically. So what we have, recycle the flight director switches. We have deselect speed. That means that we are fully controlled thrust, but we have speed in arm mode. That's why we have under protection and automatic go around, and go around altitude is pre-selected, and mis-approach heading is pre-selected as well. So now you can see the red line, which is the extended center line of our runway, and now we should see the runway. Yes, we see. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, now we can see that we are 500 feet below the profile, so we will level the airplane a little bit. We are not going to deep dive it. And I'm apologizing, but I don't see the puppy lights because I've oversaturated display, and I am playing with the settings of my display and with no success. But we are approximately on the profile, so we are 100 feet below, so a little bit correct the altitude. And now we are okay, we are good to go, and we have a little bit wind which is blowing from our left side. Now we are okay. Okay, a little bit go down. Okay, there was one reason why I was flying a little bit higher as you saw, there was 3 whites and only one red line. It's because, as you can see, there was the big downslope, and in real life these big downslopes many times are related with some wind shear conditions, let's say, or downdraft conditions. But anyway, we touched the airplane on the center line and with the touchdown zone, so it was basically okay. And on some point, don't focus on or don't rely on your puppy, and focus yourself to touchdown zone or touchdown point, because this is the most important. Not to overfloat the runway and not to make it perfect and make a butter landing, especially if your runway length is 1800 feet, so it doesn't make sense. Okay, so we can pick up the next stand, switch off the lights. Okay, we stop the airplane, and once we stop the airplane, we just need to check the brakes. Brakes temperature is okay, and we were using full reverse thrust in order to reduce the brake temperature. That's why we need to just wait for a while. Okay, imagine the 3 minutes of cooling in the engines was okay, but regarding to cooling the engines, it's always essential when you're outside the temperature is approximately 30 degrees. But as we have such a low temperature as 4 degrees, we may reduce our cooling schedule period. So that means that put the engine off, flight directors off, speed window back to 100, stop the block time, early specs, and anti-collision lights off, and that's it. Okay, so I guess we made it successfully. It was a little bit discrepancy between my VNAV indication and indication of the puppy. As you can see, when we were on short final, the VNAV was exactly perfect. We don't have any deviation because it should be calculated from 55th of the threshold, this VNAV path, and this was okay basically, but we have all 4 reds. And as I see the downslope, which I can show you right now, we can call the services. Yeah, we can need to set the chokes, remove the parking brakes. okay, let's say release, but be aware of the fact that the parking brake is essential to have set when you are performing the walk around. Otherwise, you don't see the brake pin where. So I don't know how to use this drone mode, but I will try to do something with it. And we can go here, and I will explain it what and why. As you can see from this position, we have like this situation, and I was exactly on the profile and I would like to fly with the puppy, but then I realized that it will be better to focus on the touchdown point than rely on puppy, because be aware of the fact that on flight simulator the puppy lights should be let's say should be not good properly modeled with your scenery. That's the first reason. So that's why always when flying on flight simulator, yes, puppy, it's okay when you have correct scenery, but rely on your focus from 200 feet or 100 feet. It's basically more essential to focus on the touchdown point than on puppy, and especially when I saw this downslope. And this downslope, I'm not aware how it is going here in New Zealand in Qeenstown, and just the real pilots or the pilots who are flying in real life should leave me a comment as a colleague and professional pilots. But as I am flying to Greek island, this situation is very common, and always when I am flying to Greece island in real life, I have some kind of, not the wind shear, because there is no wind shear presented on my screen and screaming wind shear ahead. No, it's without the warning, and suddenly you have the downdraft, and or you can have a wind shear from left or right side, which is unpredictable. So that's why it's essential pilot flying to have both hands on control column, and pilot monitoring is controlling your thrust. And this is the proper way how to fly into the airport when you are expected the wind shear on short final. So basically that's it, and I hope you like this video. And as again, if there is some professional pilot which are flying to this particular airport, please leave me a comment, and if my procedure was wrong or if I did something wrong, and I promise next time I will learn from you. And from those of you who are new to flight sim and would like to learn something new, so this was just the basic guidance how to fly this airport, but again and again, I am not trained to this particular airport. Only the pilots who are flying here are trained and are allowed to fly this airport. So have a nice day, and if you would like to know something about 737 or some topics to go, just let me know. Have a nice day. Bye bye.